Namaste, Goa Flowers. I hope that this finds you well. I am Anita Goa. If you're new to me and my channel, welcome. So we're in the changing of seasons. Autumn is here. It's starting to get darker and colder, and it's easy to feel very stiff. This is considered in the Ayurvedic tradition to be the Vata season. So it's very important to ground and root ourselves so that we can find the calmness to be able to deal with those transitions and the changes that we might be going through in nature or maybe even in our own life. So this is a practice that is very grounding. It has parts to it where we won't be moving too much, and then it has other parts where we will be moving quite a lot. So it is a balance of just grounding and then a flow, because reality is that we can't ground and root ourselves when we're always moving and going and always flowing. And that rhymes. So I hope you enjoy this practice. It's a little bit different, but I have really enjoyed it and felt the benefits on myself. So I hope you will too. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how it feels. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the mat. Enjoy. It is typical when I start to film, someone is starting some work outside. I think they're cutting down some trees today. It's easy to get distracted by what's happening outside and let that interfere with our yoga practice. But sometimes we just have to surrender to that and tune ourselves maybe a little bit more into our breath so that we practice pratyahara, sense withdrawal, and not allow ourselves to get distracted by the distractions that are around us, because you know what, they're constant. I live in London, so there's always noise happening, and this is the practice of the yogi, is to know when to tune ourselves in so that we can tune it all out. So that is my invitation. We're going to lie down on our abdomen into crocodile pose. So your elbows are open to the side, your hands are on top of each other, and see if you can rest your forehead onto your hands. And of course, if this doesn't feel good for you, find another position. Your forehead can either be on the floor or on a pillow or a softer yoga block or a regular yoga block or a rolled up blanket. The possibilities are endless. And arms open to the side into cactus arms, if that feels good. I just want to invite you into a position where your forehead and your head can get a bit heavy against what it's touching. It can feel very nurturing and very calming when we let our head rest upon something. And now facing down, this is an invitation to tune us into ourselves. So anytime you might feel confused, anxious, a little out of sorts, feeling vulnerable, this can be a good position to put yourself in. So tune yourself into your breath. So feel yourself filling your lungs up on the inhale and emptying your lungs out on the exhale. And then see if you can, as you inhale, fill up and inflate your back body. And then as you exhale, deflate. Bring the back body back to normal. Notice how your lower back, middle, and upper back feels. And as you allow the front body to get a bit heavy, allow your back body to feel or find lightness. So just notice how you feel and ask yourself what you need from this practice. This is a very grounding, slow flow practice. At present time, do you feel grounded? Do you feel all over the place? How can you ground yourself? What do you need to ground yourself? So whatever answer comes up, see how you can integrate that into this practice, into the rest of your day, into your life. And then is there something that is not serving you anymore? Maybe something that is making you feel unfocused, frazzled. How can you allow yourself to let that go? Leave it on the mat. Exhale it away. So that you can feel calm and find calm. So inhale what you feel that you need, and exhale what you feel you need to release and let go of. So deepen your breath a little bit and readjust your pelvis. So draw the tailbone under a little bit. Squeeze just a little bit with the bottom of the buttocks and let your pubic bone find the floor. Lift your navel, draw up through the navel, and then curl your toes under and lift your knees as you give a little squeeze to the fronts of your thighs. And as you press back into the heels, feel the engagement through your quadriceps, the muscle in the front of the thigh. Feel the kneecaps lifting. But equally also feel the engagement through the lower buttocks and the backs of your thighs, your hamstrings. And then from there, see if you can lift your legs off the floor. Feet can be flexed, or you can point your feet. Hold it there. Try to maintain the softness in your upper body, and then find the tension or the tone through the lower body. Stay with your breath and slowly release it down. Good. Soften your buttocks, but keep the engagement through the abdominals and the pelvis. And then next, inhale, we're going to lift the legs again and just lift the upper body off. And just hold the same arm position as you were resting in. Now you start to notice more tension building up in your lower back, middle back, and perhaps upper back. Find the length, stay with your breath. And release it down. Beautiful. Then open the arms out to the side for cactus arms. Keep your neck long. Breathe in. Lift your legs first. Stay connected to the pelvis, your abs, lower abs, and then lift the arms. Hold it here. Maybe you'll feel a little bit more strength building up in your upper back, right between your shoulder blades. Extend the arms over the head. Hold it there. Superman or superwoman. Breathe in. Then draw the elbows in. And extend it out. And draw the elbows in. Extend it out. One more time, draw the elbows in. And extend it out. Lovely. Rest the arms at the side of your body. And then rest onto your cheek, either cheek. Then face down again. Lift. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the shoulder blades down and together. Try to keep your legs hip distance apart. Shavasana. Interlace the right index finger on top of the left. Stretch the arms away. Pin the shoulder blades together. Lengthen the neck. Just find a position where you can breathe. This is not so much a flexibility pose as it is a strength and stability pose. So don't force yourself to get up higher. Just explore what is today and right now. And release. And you can rest on the other cheek. And I'll just keep my arms in front just because of my mic. Just shake out your butte a little bit. Breathe into your back body. Stay with it. If this is annoying you, stay with it. Try not to give up. This serves a purpose. And just see if you can invite whatever that purpose is. One more time. Inhale, lift it up, extending the arms behind you. And now interlace the left index finger on top of the right. Stretch the arms away. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, but your legs are hip distance apart. Now feel free to move your head a little bit side to side. Right? If you feel stuck, if you feel uncomfortable, see how you can adjust yourself so that you find your comfort. But this is very stable and strong. Good, and release. Rest on the other cheek. Ooh, yeah, shake it loose. Shake it loose. Then draw your elbows in under your shoulders for Sphinx pose. Lift your breastbone as you wrap your shoulder blades into the armpits. Try not to lift your chin too much. Just lift through the breastbone, and as the shoulder blades wrap into the armpits, you'll feel that openness through your chest and the front of your shoulders. You can move the right hand in a little bit. Shift the weight a little bit into the right arm, and then bend the left leg. And hold the hand on the top of the foot as you draw your heel towards your buttocks. This is half frog pose. Then you can spin on the top of your foot, spin the fingers outwards and then in, and hold it there. Try not to lean too far over into the right. Try to maintain stability through your pelvis as you're now moving a little bit into an asymmetrical pose, but trying to maintain your center. Good, and then slowly release. Then come back into the Sphinx pose, hold it there. Move your left hand in a little bit, so your hand and arm is a little bit on a diagonal. Bend the right leg, work the right arm behind you. See how you can take a hold of that right foot, maybe at the top. Draw the heel towards your buttocks. Okay, now my fingers are pointing back. Then I rotate my fingers towards the left and to the center. All right, so this is a deep stretch into the toes, into your foot, but also into the front of your thigh, and very deep into your shoulder socket and chest. So quite a lot of strength here, but also flexibility. Try to maintain the center line. Lovely, and release. Oh yeah, that's an intense one. Rest down again in whichever position suits you. Breathe in and breathe out. Just shake out the butte. If you found some compression happening in your lower back, maybe you went up a little bit too high. Maybe you need to adjust your pelvis a little bit more. Good. And now lift your legs again. Bring the arms behind and see if you can do the full frog pose. So you draw your heels towards the buttocks. Now my fingers are pointing back. Then I rotate my fingers outwards and then towards my waist or my lower back. Breathe in here, breathe out here. And you'll stay quite low. It's not so much of trying to get up. It's more about maintaining the grounding and the centering. And release it down. Ooh, yeah. That's quite intense. Shake it loose, and you might be new to that, so give yourself time to explore it. Stay with your breath. Try not to struggle. Keep the legs a little bit wider, now about shoulder distance apart. Move your hands right next to your ribs and come onto your fingertips. Stay strong in your abdomen. And roll the shoulders back as you inhale. Just lift up as high as you can. And then exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. And exhale, roll yourself down. Do that again. Inhale, roll up. Lift your heart, roll the shoulders open. Exhale over the left. Inhale. Exhale over the right. Inhale. And exhale, roll it down. Good. Ground the palms to the floor so your elbows are on top of your wrist. Inhale to upward facing dog. And just wiggle your hips a little bit. Exhale, draw in through the abdomen, round into a cat stretch, root into your shins and the tops of the feet. Really press the floor away from you. Shake out your head. And then just air out right in between the shoulder blades, right in the middle back and the lower back. Inhale, arch to cow, curl the toes under. And then exhale, draw your hips back. Good. You can bend the elbows here into the praying child with the toes curled under. And let your forehead rest onto the floor. Allow the hips to draw back as you draw forward into your elbows. Length into each side of your spine. Good. Openness through the chest and length into the back. Beautiful. Set your intention here. So just notice anything that might have come up. Just integrate your intention, something that will support you, ground you, calm you down, nurture you, and help you to propel you forward in the direction where you like to go. Good, then lengthen out to downward facing dog as you exhale. Good, inhale, lift the right leg to three-legged dog. And exhale, draw the knee to the right elbow, round your spine, and to the left elbow. Extend the leg to the side, pivot the left heel in and reach that left arm up. Then rewind as you ground the left palm to the floor. Draw the knee to the left elbow, to the right elbow, and inhale back to three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the navel round, and here we're getting the stretch into the back body. Step the right foot forward. Good, come on to the fingertips, roll the shoulders open. And then step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway pose, lift your toes, root into the four corners of your feet. And exhale, fold over your thighs, bend the knees, shake out your head. Inhale, rise to the top. And then exhale as you fold, touch Ajna and Anahata. Inhale to halfway pose. And exhale, step the right foot back. Inhale, the left foot back. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest and the chin to the floor. Inhale to baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, round it into a cat stretch. Drop your head. Inhale, arch it into a cow. And exhale, draw your hips back and go into downward facing dog. So good. Inhale, lift the left leg to three-legged. Exhale, draw the knee into the navel, round, really wrap the shoulder blades into the armpits, then to the right. Extend the leg to the side, pivot that right heel in, reach the right arm up. Good. Then exhale, ground the palm, draw the knee to the right, to the left. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee into the navel, round, really lift up and step the foot forward. Roll the shoulders open. Take a little dip down, step the right foot forward, hip distance. Inhale, half. And exhale, fold it all the way over. Good, inhale, rise to the top, root down, draw in, open, expand. And then exhale, fold, touch Ajna and Anahata. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back. Inhale, right foot back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to child and downward dog. Good. So this is the whole deal with the practice. As we first ground, then we move a little bit, then we ground, and then we move a little bit. Bend your knees, walk your hands back. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise to the top. And exhale, namaste, touch ajna and anahata. And rest the arms at the side. Just notice how you feel as you're now standing. Notice your posture. Notice if your back body muscles feel more supportive, if your head is more over your shoulders and your shoulders over your pelvis, pelvis over your heels, just very naturally. You feel open, yet grounded and centered. I hope so. Open your eyes. And let's open mat distance or mat, the width of the mat. Use the width of the mat for triangle pose. So turn your left foot to the left. Turn your right foot in about 30 degrees. See that the left heel lines up with the right heel. Inhale, the arms open. And then exhale, descend it over to the side. Okay. So see here if you can just let your arm basically dangle a bit. Don't support your arm onto the thigh. Feel the energy drawing down into your legs and your feet, and at the same time draw that energy up through the legs and the feet, up into the pelvic floor, lower belly, and your heart. Feel the arms stretching in opposite directions. So you can look up, you can look to the side, or you can look down. So finding the balance here in an asymmetrical pose. The triangle is considered the strongest symbol in yoga. The strong, wide base. It's not always so easy to find the balance in this pose. Then inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bend the leg into a warrior two. Try to keep your toes lifted, rooting into the feet. Just use your legs, draw up into the core, lift with the heart, and then gaze over your front fingers. This is a soft gaze, but feeling the back arm reaching to the back, feeling the back leg reaching and rooting, and just find your center. So as you gaze over the fingers, let that gaze, that drishti, draw your outward looking eye in. Good, and straighten out the leg. Turn the toes in, so you pivot on your heel. And then we'll do warrior, or we'll do triangle on the other side. So line up heel to heel, take a deep inhale, and then exhale over. Look up, look to the side, or look down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale to warrior two. So what does it mean to you to be a warrior? To be a spiritual warrior? What comes up? Right? To see how you can find your strength, how you can draw the energy into yourself. And then trying not to get distracted by what's happening outside, or the changes that are happening. Good, and straighten out the leg. Flex the foot, turn your toes in so you're pigeon-toed. And then exhale, we're going to hinge it forward. Do an intense leg stretch. Drop your head down. If the crown of your head touches the floor, just let it touch the floor. If it doesn't, no worries. You can always put a block underneath the crown of the head so that the crown of your head touches something. So this can also be very nurturing and calming and grounding. You can extend the arms to the back, which now, funny enough, because you're turned upside down, is your new front. So here we can gain a new perspective. That's a good thing. So if you want to, you can also go into a headstand, of course. So try to move into it really slowly, rooting down into your forearms, and just notice the triangle shape that you're in when you move into a headstand here. Stay with your breath, no matter what position you're in. And slowly come out of it. Good. Lovely. And gradually lift your chest. Hold it there, and then toe heel the feet in a little bit. For low Indian squat, your toes can be facing out and lift your chest. Press your upper arms against your shins and your lower leg. Press your arms against your thighs so your chest stays lifted. Just rooting down. Hold it here. Full breath in, full breath out. And you can extend the arms open and come back to the center. And then stretch the arms open and back to the center. Do that one more time. Stretch it open. You can either hold it here or you can see if you can find a binding position. Look to the side or down, anywhere where you can stay rooted, and rewind. Come back to the center and then extend, hold it, or see how you can bind. So the reality is that we can't find our grounding unless we slow down and extend. So if you're a person who's always constantly moving, always doing something, you might find this to be quite an annoying practice. Aren't we going to go? Aren't we going to move? Aren't we going to be doing something? Because this is boring. Well, this is the practice for you. This is the practice for you, but it might be an acquired taste, which is completely fine. Keep the palms together, just stretch the arms out and just honor the earth. Honor your heart, and then honor your intuition. Straighten the legs out, come up, and then honor the heavens. Reach the arms. You can't see my arms, but separate them and open. And then slowly lower yourself back down. Honor your intuition, your heart, and then honor the earth. Do that again. Gradually squeeze through the thighs and gradually come up. Separate the arms. Honor the heavens. And slowly come down. Good. Do that one more time. Squeeze. Really draw it into yourself. And gradually come all the way down. Lovely. And now we're going to move a bit. Yes. Namaste. Toe heel your feet together. Now we're going to move to the front of our mat. Keep the feet hip distance apart. So the fall is like change of direction, change of seasons, and that's what we're going to be doing in this flow. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, fold, interlace the right index finger on top of the left. Stretch the arms away. Inhale, lift, and step the right foot back into a crescent lunge. Exhale, open to the right into a temple pose. Palms together in Namaste in front of your heart. Inhale to the right to crescent lunge. You can open up into cactus arms if you want to. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, wave yourself to a plank. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale to baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, round it into a cat. Inhale, arch it into a cow. Exhale into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the left leg to three-legged. Exhale, knee into the navel, step it forward. Inhale, rise to a crescent. Exhale, open to the right to temple pose. Inhale to the right, crescent lunge. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Interlace right index finger on top. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hinge, fold, left index finger on top. Inhale, lift, and step the left foot back, crescent lunge. Exhale, open to the left, temple pose. Yeah, go deep, baby. Inhale, left, crescent lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave it into a plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, round it into cat. Draw in as you root down. Inhale, arch it into cow. Exhale, child and downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, knee to navel, step it forward. Inhale, rise to crescent. Exhale, open to temple. Inhale, left to crescent. Exhale, step it forward. Interlace left index finger on top of the right. Inhale, rise. And exhale, stand, namaste. So we're going to do 2 more cycles and I'm going to add on to it. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge, interlace, right index finger on top. Inhale, lift, and step the right foot back, crescent lunge. Exhale to the right, temple pose. Now inhale, step that left foot behind, take a hold of the left wrist and open. I call this the Indian mudra, Indian dance mudra. And then exhale, temple. Inhale, right foot behind, take a hold of the right wrist and open. And exhale. One more time, each side. Inhale and exhale. I've done this before, especially in some older flows. Temple. Inhale to the right, crescent. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to navel, step it forward. Inhale, lift to crescent lunge. Exhale, open to temple pose. Do that again. Inhale, step it to the side, and it doesn't matter. Exhale to the center, which side you go. We're lucky here, there's only two different limbs to pay attention to. Or four, 2 legs and 2 arms, but just 2 sides. Hold it. Inhale, crescent lunge. So those are directions to choose between. Exhale, step it forward, interlace. Right index finger on top. Inhale, lift, root down, draw and open, expand. Exhale, hinge it forward. Left index finger on top. Inhale, lift and step the left foot back. Crescent lunge. And then exhale, open to temple pose. Beautiful. I'm going to add on here. Cross the left foot behind the right. Left arm on top. Eagle squat. Slowly just lower down as low as your knees, ankles and hips, shoulders and elbows allow you to go. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross the right behind, right on top. Squeeze it into the center, lower and open. Okay, so you'll figure it out. You can stay lifted, stay right here and open, right? So find your flow, follow your flow. Try not to be distracted by what everyone else is doing. Face to the back. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, downward dog. It's not always easy, but that's the practice of the yogi. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, knee to navel, step it forward. Inhale, rise to crescent. Aha. Exhale, open to temple pose. Eagle squat again. Cross the left behind, left on top, lower down and open. Inhale, right leg behind, right arm on top, lower and open. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to the front, crescent lunge. And exhale, step it forward. Interlace, left index finger on top. Ooh. Inhale, rise, root, join, open, and exhale, namaste. Oh, yay. So good. Shake it loose now. Just like your tree, you know, the leaves are falling. Just allow the leaves to fall. Just allow whatever needs to go, allow it to go. So that you can allow yourself to go with the flow, whatever phase or cycle you're in. Just trust that when you rooted yourself, grounded yourself, just gotta let it go. Ooh, yay! This is what happens in fall. Oh, hope you're having a good time. Good, so that was quite a lot of grounding and quite a lot of movement there. So now we're going to go back into grounding and rooting it down. So take your yoga block if you have one. Step the right foot back for rotated triangle pose eventually. So just like the triangle pose, see that your left heel lines up with the right heel. Place your block, whatever height you want it on, to your little toe side. And work your hands behind you, fingertips together. Rotate your fingers inwards to slide your hands up in between the shoulder blades. And once you're there, lift your chest and pin your shoulder blades together. Okay, now if that is not happening today, take a hold of your elbows. Maintain the openness with the chest and the engagement through your back, or interlace your fingers and stretch the arms away. Okay, so either one of those work. Hips and shoulders are facing forward. Take a deep inhale and then exhale as you hinge it forward. Okay, so here it's important that you pay attention to the tightest part of your body, wherever that might be. Breathe into it. See if you can keep your toes spread so that you're not gripping, because that gripping just means that we're just trying to hold on. So if you're gripping too much, maybe you're working a little bit too hard. So stay with your breath. Good. Slowly come up and then slide your hands down. Ooh, yay. Inhale, lift the right arm to the ceiling. And then exhale, hinge it forward. You can place the left hand on your hip and then ground the palm onto the block, whichever height you need it to be. Then place your hand on the lower belly, draw up through the abdomen and draw back through the tailbone and forward through your breastbone. You can place your left thumb to the left hip, allow the left hip to draw back, and then twist from the bottom of your ribs. Now, it's fine that you're adding on a little bit of a rotation of your pelvis. You don't have to stabilize and tighten your hips to stay in one place. Just allow them to naturally move with the rotation. Good. Then slowly lower the hands to the floor on each side of your left foot. Pivot the right heel off. Bend both of the knees and cross the right knee on the outside of the left ankle. Okay? So sit up tall. Level off your seat. Feel free to sit on something to find your extension. Draw the left leg close to your chest. Wrap the right arm around your thigh and gently twist it open to your left. Stretch it as far as you can go so you can work the arm to the outside, and you can also go ahead and bind. Try not to turn your head too much so that you actually create tension into your neck. You can always move your head and your torso is still going to be able to rotate. Inhale, length into the spine, and exhale, rotation into the spine. Good, and slowly release and just do an open twist and face forward. Now lean back, balance between your sitting bones and your tailbone, so legs can be bent, legs can be straight, hands can be together or extended for boat pose, Navasana, yogi's choice. You can even keep the feet together and knees apart if that feels good. So stay here if this is a good place for you to be, feeling the strength of your core. That's strength of power, determination, yes. Or you can lower down, squeeze the legs together and come up, okay? So I'll give you a couple of options there. Just a few more times. Row, row, row the boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Not always. Ground the feet, but life is certainly what we make of it, right? Inhale the arms up, do you agree? Let me know. Roll yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale the arms up over the head, and then exhale the arms forward. Now if you have issues in your spine, a herniated disc or a slip disc, continue on with that. If otherwise you're fine, you can rock and roll back and forth, okay? And now we're going to rock and roll up into a seated position to a low Indian squat, or just use your hands and find it. Okay, so now your feet are parallel. Good, exhale to forward fold. And inhale, rise. And exhale, namaste. So good. We're going to do this again on the other side. So take your block, step the left foot back. So it's about 3 to 3.5 feet. I think I forgot to say that on the other side. So hips and shoulders facing forward. Reverse namaste. Any variation. Sometimes the second time around, you might actually feel a little tighter, or sometimes you might feel a little bit more open. So just adjust accordingly. Inhale and exhale, hinge it forward. Because we're working the other side here, you know, pay attention to the area on this side that feels the tightest. We're dealing with a lot of joints, and I think of this as just joint flossing, just cleaning out any gunk, any tightness, any stuckness. Good, and slowly start to come up and slide your hands down. Ooh, yeah. Just shake it loose again, baby. Just let that flow and let that go. Inhale the left arm up. And then exhale, hinge it forward. Ground the palm. Place your right palm on your lower abdomen. Sometimes we feel that we're engaged through the lower abs, but maybe not as much as we could be, so that's a good thing to do. Draw your tailbone back, draw your breastbone forward. Take your right thumb to the right hip as you rotate to allow that right hip to draw back, but it's also fine that you're adding on a little bit of a rotation of your hips. There's a lot of talk about that now in the yoga community. Should the pelvis rotate with the rest of the spine, or should it be stable and stay in one place? So listen into your back and feel what feels good for you. Good. Lower the hands to the floor on each side. Pivot that left heel off, bend both knees. Take a leap and draw the right knee to the outside of the left knee to the outside of the right ankle. Yes, and sit down. See? We're lucky. We basically just have a few directions to move in. Sometimes in life that is not always the case, but this is a great opportunity just to ground down, to center ourselves in, stay with our breath, and then try to use what we practice on our yoga mat. See how we can transfer that off of the yoga mat. So whenever life throws you sideways, whenever you feel that life is a bit asymmetrical, that you can then even draw yourself into your core. When life is turned upside down, even then you can find some kind of balance and release and do an open twist. Right? So it might not be perfect, but what is perfection? Be compassionate towards yourself and just tune in to your energy and face forward. And usually nothing lasts forever, right? So balance between your sitting bones and tailbone, back to that boat pose. You can do your little chant, row, row, row the boat. Row, row, row the boat, gently down the stream. Yay, now you can hold it here, palms together, and you can rotate a little bit side to side. Now you want your pelvis to be grounded. Feel the twisting from the bottom of your ribs. Fingertips can touch the floor. You can stay here, or you can go down into that low boat pose and rotate where one elbow touches the ground. Okay, yogi's choice. I love choices, and I think that we always have choices, and we make our own choices. So I hope that today you will make the choices that work the best for you. And come up. Ooh, ground the feet, inhale it up, and then exhale, roll it down. Inhale, reach the arms over the head, and exhale it forward and come up. Continue that way, or you can again rock and roll. So of course you can rock and roll even when you're rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Ooh. And come back up into a low Indian squat. And pause right there. If your heels are off the ground, that's okay. But see if you can find a position where your heels are on the ground. And even if that involves sitting on a block so that you can come up a little bit higher, press through the upper arms, lift through the chest, roll the shoulders open. So this way you're getting, again, that grounding, that rooting down in the place where it is that you are at. And this will soften your lower back, your hips, and just root it all in. Good, and slowly release it down. So good. Only a few more poses here. Soles of your feet together. Draw your heels as close to your groin as you can. Hold on to your ankles and lift your chest as you inhale. And then exhale. Keep the chest open, and you can transfer your hands to your big toe mounds and then hinge it forward. So just notice there that when you start to bend forward, if you can only bend forward a tiny little bit and then it pauses and you feel like you're stuck, you can't go any further, pause there. Just pause there and breathe with that stuckness. Okay, but don't let that stop you. Just even though you're at a still point, feels like you're at a stop, nothing is moving, everything feels like it's stagnating. It's not. The breath is moving through you. So feel the breath moving through you and just feel that aliveness within yourself. We have the sun within us, we have the moon within us, the stars are there within us, possibilities are there within us. It's just the stuckness that is somewhere in the hips, in the muscles. It's not a big deal. Just breathe through it. Try not to resist against it. Try not to struggle against it. Just allow yourself to flow and move within this cycle, just like nature does. Nature has to pause, to regenerate. The leaves are falling, they're changing color. Just for some time. Good, and gradually come up. Ooh, extend the legs out. And just shake it loose a little bit or massage your thighs. We're just going to cross our legs into easy seat Sukhasana, right foot in front of the left. Inhale, and then exhale, descend it forward. Feel free to place your forehead onto a block, or if you can go all the way down into the floor, rest the arms at the side of your body. And just feel the stretch into the right hip, the right leg, the right side of your spine. And then you can move your torso over to the left a little bit. And then come back to the center. And pause it there, either arms in front of you in cactus arms or behind you. Good, and then gradually withdraw and come all the way up. And then change the leg position. Left in front of the right. Inhale, and then descend it forward. Arms at the side of your body. And now you'll probably feel the stretch more into the left hip, left leg, left side of your spine. Move the arms to the front and go over to your right side a bit. And come back to the center. Rest the arms, rest the forehead. Just let your head get heavy, just like you did in the beginning. Breathe into your back body. inflate and deflate. Lovely, and then withdraw and come all the way up. So we're going to extend the legs out and rest into a shavasana. Feel free to take your eye pillow and let the blanket drape it over you. So see if you can put yourself in a position where you feel super comfortable. Adjust your pelvis, allow your feet to open, flip open to the side. You can let your arms rest at the side of your body, palms facing up. Adjust your upper back so your shoulder blades are dropping and rooting into the floor like a heavy set of plates. I would drape the blanket further over my body, but because of my mic, I have to keep it a little bit off. If you have a yoga bolster, feel free to place the yoga bolster behind your legs. And then if you have a second blanket or pillow, you can place that behind your head if you want some more support. So use the tools that you have available to you and just listen in to how you feel. And allow your back body now to soften and become heavy. And then allowing the front body to become open. So the opposite of what we did in the beginning. Let your breath be natural, so try not to put in any effort in your breathing. Just allow the breath to move in and out like it naturally does and goes on automatic because we're alive. But try to stay present within your breath. Notice where it goes. Naturally, your belly will expand on the inhale, and naturally your belly will go back to normal on the exhale. So if this was a very different practice for you, just embrace that. Allow it to be what it is. Know that you don't have to do this one ever again. But I would encourage you, if you found it to be a bit challenging, physically or mentally, to try to do it a few more times. And notice that when you do, notice the changes that might happen. It's a huge practice of allowing what is to be. And oftentimes when we go through changes and we're in transition, oftentimes the mind resists, it doesn't like it. It wants what is comfortable, what is familiar. And anytime the mind might feel something that feels foreign, doesn't always like that. But I feel very much of a yogi's life is to try to embrace the change and embrace what is foreign and be curious about it. Investigate it a bit and see, what is this about? Why am I feeling this way? What is going on? And then when we investigate and when we become familiar with what feels foreign, then it's no longer foreign. It becomes familiar. Just like a friend who once upon a time we didn't know. Like I always say, a stranger's only someone you don't know yet. So what we don't like might become something that eventually we will like, maybe even love, if we allow ourselves a little bit of space. So whatever comes up for you, pay attention to it and just allow the practice to come together in whichever way it needs to, wants to, or has to for you. And wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And gradually work your legs together. Deepen your breath. And if you want to, you can stretch your arms over your head and stretch from your heels to the crown of your head. Bring the arms forward and draw your non-dominant leg in first, and then your dominant leg in second. And if you put an eye pillow on, you can remove it. And sorry, I forgot to say that an eye pillow also is very comforting and very calming. It's a lovely thing to do during your shavasana. And then roll over to your side and gradually push yourself up. And then cross your legs into easy seat. Feel free to sit on a block or a blanket or a pillow. Just notice your posture, notice how you feel. Namaste. Good. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed this if you're here all the way at the end. I know that this has been a very good practice for me as someone who is, very Vata, very in my head, and always I want to move, I want to move, I want to go. But I've come to this point where it's so important to just ground and root and really allow things to be exactly the way that they are. And that has been a huge practice for me. So from me to you, I hope that it serves you as well as it has served me. Have a great day. Let me know in the comments how this felt, any epiphanies that you might have had. What is a warrior to you? How do you release and let go and flow with the seasons? I'd love to hear from you. Mwah.